Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. Here we have today a Mazda CX-5. This is the 2.2 diesel, 150 PS, so that's the power output, and it's the Sport Nav Plus model. This car was registered towards the end of 2018, I believe it was November. It's covered about 20,000 miles and it's presented in machine grey with the black leather interior. Now, with all our vehicles, I always like to give a little bit of background on the cars, where they've come from, etc. Now, we actually sold this as a used vehicle when it was about a year old. We sourced it from outside our database because the majority of our used cars we sold from new, etc, etc. So this one we sold from a year old. I didn't know the previous owner personally, but I must say I always think any person that specs mud flaps on their cars tend to look after their cars very well, but it is in lovely condition. But the second owner has been a loyal customer of ours since 2019, and he's so loyal, in fact, he's moved to Liverpool and he drove down on Saturday and collected his new car. So he's really happy with dealing with TW White & Sons, and he's very happy with the brand, and hopefully he'll be a customer for many years to come. So if you're watching the video, thanks very much. Thanks for making that long haul down from Liverpool at the weekend. Now, these cars are really well spec'd. I will go through the specification with you, but first I'm going to start at the rear of the car. Apologise for the noise. We've got some building work going on here, and we've still got the remnants of this storm or this new storm. Right, so I'm going to open up the boot. Now, the first thing I always look at in cars, because we've only just washed this car, is you've got this lip here that often gets scuffed and damaged, but it's in really good condition. You've got the handsome sized boot, okay, with a sort of 40-40-20 split rear seats. So these would work like so, okay. And you'll get an enormous loading area. Now, did you see how they all fold down? That's sort of that's Mazda's. They call it a Karikouri seat system, which I remember on my training course back in 2003 on the Mazda 6, and it's a word in Japanese that refers to surprise. So they kind of are surprise seats when you pull those levers. So I think very handy, especially if you've got something large you're putting in the car. You just need to pop these levers and down it goes. So you've got this auto rear tailgate. You can close it on the button, you can open it on the button, but you can also do it on the key fob and a button in the car. And I must say, when these things came out, I used to think, oh, you know, a gimmick and whatnot. But when you've got hands full of shopping and you've got, say, a toddler in the other hand, it's very handy to press a button, put the shopping in, and also you look quite flash coming out of the supermarket. So let's go into the vehicle. You've got ISOFIX anchorages on the two outer seats of this vehicle, okay? So those of you with young children, you'll be pleased to know those ISOFIX will go straight in there. You've also got an armrest, so in four-seater mode, it's probably most comfortable with the rear armrest, which has the all-important cup holders, but the more important these days, I would say, USB ports. Now, these are for charging in the rear, and at the front you've got two more for charging and for reading data. Now, I just want to bring your attention to the opening of this car. It almost opens at a right angle. Mazda, in their design, pay particular attention to this because they know that a lot of people will be getting kids in and out of cars, and this is something I didn't understand until I had a child of my own, and getting a child in and out of a child seat in a car that has a narrow opening or is quite low down is a real pain. And I also know my elderly parents would also appreciate an opening like that. Oh, here comes the wind. Right, the car's got the BOSE premium sound system, which is amazing. You've got electric front seats, memory on the driver's seat. They're also heated, 3-stage heated seats. You've got privacy glass in the rear. You've got front and rear sensors, rear parking camera. You've got radar cruise control. Now, on the Mazdas, if this was hollow, yeah, you'd know it didn't have radar cruise control. But on the Plus model vehicles, on the CX-5, it's filled in, and there's actually a radar that lives behind there. I'll come to that when we get in the vehicle. Now I've got the keys in my pocket, so to get in the car you press this button, yeah, car opens, wing mirrors open, okay, so that's the part of the smart keyless entry. You don't have to take your, rummage around for your keys. You've got your electric windows mirrors here, you've got your seat adjustment, you've got your memory seats there. Here you can open your boot here, you've got your traction control, basically keep you on the road as safely as possible. You can switch your parking sensors off here. There's a scenario I can imagine where you'll do that is, I've got a little service road at the back of my house, and when the weeds grow in the summer, I drive down there and the parking sensor would be going haywire. So I'd probably switch it off there. And iStop is an intelligent engine stop-start system, which will turn the engine off in traffic when you're, well, I say in traffic, when you're stationary, to ultimately be better on the environment, okay, but it will be better on your pocket because it will use less fuel. Okay, so I've got the keys in my pockets, but I'll take them out. I'm going to take the keys out. My hands are frozen. See, that's another benefit of the smart keyless entry. When you've got frozen hands, you don't have to rummage around for the key. So, 2 keys with the vehicle, okay? You've got unlock and lock, but as I say, you don't need the key to do that. And you can open the boot as well. And if you've left, say, a dog in the car, you lock the car. If you press this button here, this off here, the alarm won't go off. All right. Foot on the brake. This lights up green to say it's recognised the keys in the car. We've fired up the car, so I can show you all the bits and bobs, and I can also defrost myself. Now, here's the mileage: 20,025 miles. Now, whilst we're talking mileage, let me get out the digital service record of this vehicle. I always do like to share these with people. Now, this car was from EMG Mazda in Cambridge, hence the AY number plate, because most of our, well, all our cars would have like LY, LX. And we did a service on it, okay, when we bought it in October 19. So that's when that's how long our customers had it. And then he had a service prematurely in June 2020, 8244 miles. And then November 2020 at 9802 miles, okay. And then it was again in May 2021 at 11952 miles. So the gentleman's done about 8,000 miles, and that's due to really he's relocated to Liverpool, so he's sort of he's been toing and froing over the last 6 months. So here we go. The car was registered the 3rd of November 18, so superb service history, absolutely superb. And you can really tell he's looked after this car. It's in very nice condition indeed. My valeter was very happy. It's all really nice, and it's not got all that horrible shiny stuff on the dash where cars have been sort of over cleaned. So let's go through some of this. So you've got automatic lights, yeah, they're LED, they're amazing. Automatic wipers, you've got adaptive cruise control, so that's why you've got this here. You can set your cruise control, and you can set the distance between your car and the car in front. It's almost like the sensitivity of it. Now, adaptive cruise control, for example, if you set your cruise control at 70 miles an hour and the car in front begins to slow down, your car will slow down, and then when that car speeds up again, your car will resume. So there's not a lot of fiddling around, which I'd say is better suited to the UK roads, probably European roads, rather than the big open highways of the US, where I think cruise control probably came from, I should imagine. You've got up, down, in and out on the steering column, so you can get nice and comfy. All right, you've got your volume controls here. Info is your trip computer. Now remember I said about AdBlue, so it'll even tell you, look, there's 65% left. Obviously we'll top this all up when we service the vehicle, okay. Now you've got your volume control. You can answer a call here, decline a call. Steering wheel's in really good condition. I've had a lot of steering wheels lately that I've had to repair or replace, but this is all lovely. There's no sort of scuff marks, which you tend to get with rings, and it's heated. So the steering wheel is heated. That's certainly something I'm going to leave on for my very short journey back to the dealership. You've got a heads-up display. Hopefully you can see that. That's adjustable. You can adjust it. You can adjust the tilt, etc. Now, I always encourage people to get used to it. Some people are, oh, I'm not really used to that. Because, you know, looking down or looking straight ahead, I know which is safer. And that will display your speed, your basic sat nav function. When I was driving over here, in fact, it can warn you to brake. Okay, so if there's an obstacle in front, and it will come up flashing here. So very useful indeed. It'll tell you speed limits of the area as well. You've got your climate control here, 3-stage heated seats, 6-speed gearbox, multimedia commander. Now this is touchscreen, but only when the car's stationary. So I always encourage people to get to use this. So in your applications, you've got your fuel economy monitor. This car's been averaging 40 miles to the gallon since it's reset. It demonstrates iStop, so it's saying it's not ready, because I'd imagine one of these, like the engine's either not warm enough, or the battery's not fully charged enough, or the air conditioning's on, so there's too much load for the engine to switch off. But that'll go to a ready status as you start driving, and when you've got your foot on the brake, the car will turn its engine off and then start as soon as you lift that brake. Okay. Now this is the Plus model with CarPlay, so Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. A lot of the 68 plates didn't have this, so this is excellent, really. And now I know it's greyed out, and people automatically assume therefore it doesn't have it, and that's not correct. Basically, once you've plugged the phone in, because you plug it in with your lead, these will light up whichever phone you've got plugged in, Android or Apple, and then you can navigate your apps and mirror your apps to this screen. All right. So we got that there. Communication. Connect your phone up, access your call lists, your phone book, text messages. If you've got an Android phone, it'll even read them to you. And the navigation, should you want to use this navigation or the one on your phone, Google Maps, Waze, etc., because I say the smartphone capability does really open things up. But if you use this is fantastic. I've used this, I say in all my videos, I've driven to the Tatra Mountains using this sat nav. Absolutely fine. Okay, put your postcode and off you go. You can also find places nearby. This has helped me out many times when I'm running out of fuel or trying to find a parking space on the way to a meeting, and I'm going to be late. That's often been very, very useful. And look, petrol stations, it'll tell you the direction, the distance, and if you set up a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, so your car is in fact connected to the internet, it'll also tell you the fuel price. And you'll get lots of other features will open up, like weather reports and other live traffic updates and other bits and pieces. So settings. So remember I mentioned the heads-up display. You can adjust that there. You can adjust the brightness and bits and pieces there as well. Display, you can turn the display off, turn it off and show the clock and many other things. Safety. So all these Plus models, right, okay, have got the radar cruise control, which we explained earlier. Smart braking, which I explained earlier. It's also got smart city braking. So if you're doing under 20 miles an hour and say you're in traffic and that car's in front of you and you get distracted, you look out the window and your car's rolling and it gets too close to that car, it will apply the brakes. And that's providing there's no driver input, so you know you're not intending to do it. And the great thing about that, a lot of accidents statistically happen in such a scenario at such low speed. Therefore, it lowers your insurance grouping, and it should reflect in your insurance premium, because it makes this car far less likely to have been involved in a collision. You've got blind spot monitoring, so little lights will light up here and here, okay, when somebody overtakes you or undertakes you. You've got lane keep assist, so the car will track between a lane. Okay, so you know you're not gripping, you're not really gripping the steering wheel when you're sort of driving down the motorway, and you'll feel the wheel sort of moving, you'll feel resistance to keep you in that lane. If you let go of the steering wheel, and I'm not saying to do this, so please don't do this, but if you let go of the steering wheel, it would actually correct you twice if you were veering out of a lane, and then it will come up on the screen, hold the steering wheel. You've got traffic sign recognition and parking sensor indicators. I mean, you've got reverse camera, okay, and you've got front sensors. Sound system, it's amazing. It's BOSE. You've got these lovely tweeters up here. I think they call them tweeters. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 speakers in the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 speakers, and it sounds amazing. Clock, it's GPS synced, so you never have to worry about changing that. You've got some great vehicle settings here. Door lock, remember I mentioned smart keyless entry. So one of the things that's activated on this car, when I walk away from the car will lock itself. So when I was taking photos, the car actually did lock itself. You've got some nice convenience features. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you've got like high beam control. So you put the high beam on full, you're going down a country lane. If a car comes the other way, the car will detect it from the reflection, and it will actually dip the lights. All right, so you'll be amazed because the other driver won't be like flashing you, going, "Oh, turn your lights down," and it won't impair. It's adaptive, so it won't turn off. If it doesn't need to, it won't turn the high beam off completely, but just enough to avoid dazzling the other driver, and then it will go straight back on once you've passed them. You've got adaptive lights, so they will turn as you turn. So the best way I can explain this, and I say it in all the videos, is you can see more at night than you can in the day down a country lane or an unlit road. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you got leaving home lights. So when you leave home and you open the car, the lights will go on, give you safe passage to the car, and when you come out of the car, to give you safe passage, I don't know, to your front door, bottom of your drive, etc. So really lovely features. There's your like Bluetooth, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, network management, so you can set it up to the internet, and you can change bits and pieces, you know, Celsius, Fahrenheit, miles, kilometers, which is often very helpful if you're traveling abroad. So this is a wonderfully equipped vehicle. Really, the spec on these really impresses me to today. Now, we are a Mazda dealer, obviously, and I was thinking earlier, the things that would be different on the brand new one from this, it would have a larger sat-nav screen, a wireless charger, and it wouldn't have a CD player. This has a CD player, which a customer got excited about when I told him earlier. Oh, and the first time in one of my videos, I just want to share tyre depths. I thought it'd be useful. It's feedback from a customer. Now, this car, near side front's 5.5mm, offside front is 5mm, but the rears are at 7mm, so the rear tyres are like brand new, and the front's legal limit is 1.6, so the fronts are very, very healthy, but the rears are like brand new. So that's something a customer asked me earlier. I thought I'd sort of have a little measure up, so I drove it into the workshop. I thought it might be useful. Okay, but the car will go through the workshop. It will be serviced, ready for the next owner. It will also have a 12-month Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty, and that's the follow-on from the manufacturer's warranty with 12 months roadside assistance. So real, you know, that's very good backup there. I say it's not one of those silly warranties with silly claim limits that are like £250 and they're very difficult to claim for. This is a proper Mazda ZZ Plus warranty, so do check that out on the internet, with roadside assistance, which isn't one of these ones that won't, you know, they won't come and get you if you're at home, etc. It's a European cover, it's fully comprehensive, hire car, you know, it'll put you up if you break down in the middle of the night, put you in a hotel, etc, etc. So really comprehensive cover. Car will be fully validated. All the little cosmetic jobs will be done. I'll do them over the course of the next couple of days. We've got fantastic finance facilities. We've got the facility to extend warranty, so please do inquire within. And if there's any more photos or videos you'd like of the vehicle, please do not hesitate to ask. It's no bother. It really is no bother at all. We can even do a sort of a live video walk around, and do inquire at any time of day. We appreciate that many people are looking outside normal working hours, and you know, You can even give us a call and leave a voicemail, and we do pick them up, or send us an email. That's probably the best way, and we'll try to come back to you as soon as possible. Part exchange is extremely welcome. I know there's a lot of adverts out there telling you that you get a better deal, sell to them online, and etc, etc, etc. You get the best deal with a part exchange. Please do punch your reg number in and get an idea of what your car's worth, and then give us a call or contact us. We love part exchanges, and as a part of our used car offering, we offer many different marks of vehicle. So it's no problem at all. Do try us first, but get an idea of what your car's worth. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's been enjoyable and I've not put you to sleep, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye bye.